Wow, guys. Wow. So there it is. It's over. It is over. Um, the series that we have all come to love is done. Um, just give me a second. I gotta collect my thought on this. So I've been done. I finished watching just probably I don't know a few minutes ago. Um, And there are things that I really liked about this series finale, and then there are things that I just didn't really like. And I'll kind of go into that. Um, yeah, so where do I kind of start this? Um, Give me a quick second. I gotta just make sure that I get this out. Um, oh man. Okay. Yeah, so again, like I said, there are things that I really liked about this episode, and then there are things that I wasn't very happy about. Now, let me go with some of the positives. Danny dying. Oh, yes, that was amazing. That was everything I wanted it to be. I'm happy that it was John who ultimately did it. I'm happy the way that it happened. Now, I didn't expect it to happen so quickly. I really thought that it would be later on, maybe like towards the second half of the show or the episode. But yeah, her death, man, that was I kind of knew it was coming, but at the same time, a part of me was like, okay, calm down. Maybe he's actually, maybe he was brainwashed. But then you see what happened, and I mean, oh man, it was awesome. It was awesome. So I loved that. I loved Tyrion telling her off, saying basically like, "Screw you, you're a horrible person." And Tyrion didn't die. Oh, Tyrion sitting on the throne. I knew it was an unrealistic thing. I thought Gendry was going to sit on the throne. I really did. Happens to be Bran. How do I feel about that? I'm kind of a little conflicted. Because part of my issue with Bran sitting on the throne at the end is what happened to Bran not wanting any of this. Apparently, like Bran kind of manipulated this whole thing and he planned everything out, I guess. So he was truly playing the real Game of Thrones. I don't know. To me, it's a little weird. Um, I want kind of an explanation on why they chose Bran of all people. Um, I'm not saying I knew it wasn't gonna be John. I figured John was just too. It was just too much of a safe thing. It was kind of like a safety net. Um, and so I don't know the whole Bran thing. I wasn't a big fan of that at all. And then sending John back to the north, back north of the wall. I knew that was going to happen, but I didn't think it was going to happen the way that it did, where he gets no lands, no titles, pretty much everything that he was and who he was as a person kind of went for nothing. He did the right thing by killing Danny, and he ended up getting screwed over in the end. I think he got it the worst out of everyone. But I think he becomes Lord Commander, and that shot at the end of him walking along with the wildlings. I was thinking to myself, I was like, are they implying something with like Nightwalkers with John and with those with those wildlings, man? I don't know. I don't know. That's another thing that I have is it's just there seems to be like some unresolved issues. I did like Sansa being Queen of the North. I love that. I knew that was going to happen. I figured she'd either be queen or she'd be warden, but no. I mean, she got the North their freedom from King's Landing and from the Seven Kingdoms, and now there's only six. Arya kind of traveling on her own, going nowhere. I mean, are they setting up for possibly a sequel series? I have no idea. That was kind of out of left field. There were some issues that I had with this episode. I'd have to say probably as a finale, it works. It's fine. It's okay. I'm not going to be like, this show sucks now. No, I love this show. I really do. And the season finale didn't need to be the best episode ever, in my opinion. I think what the show has given us over these past, however many years, I mean, it's remarkable. It's unbelievable. And so, at the end of the day, it's probably going to go down as my least favorite episode of the season. Maybe I'm going to have to watch it again. I'm going to definitely have to go back and watch this whole season again. And I cannot wait to just buy this on Blu-ray and binge the whole series again, because I need resolution. I need to see like how it makes sense for Bran to sit on the throne at the end. I don't know, but I will say this: the Game of Thrones has been played. I mean, it's done. We have our resolution. Tyrion gets to be Hand of the King, which I didn't see coming at all. I was thinking maybe he'd be sent north to the Wall as well. But yeah, I knew there was going to be some type of leap in time. I knew that was going to happen. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of the way that this ended, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys think as well. So I'm going to jump into it. Blind Archer Bro, what's up, bro? Hey, everyone. Hey, Chewbacca. Yeah, I wanted her to die so bad. Yeah, I did too. I'm so happy she died. That was the best part of the episode for me, was seeing her die. I feel like Grey Worm should have died. Like, I'm still a little salty about that. And, anybody find it kind of weird that it was like Grey Worm was just like, Daenerys was my queen and Jon killed my queen. And then they're like, all right, well, we're going to elect a new king or queen. And he's like, oh, okay. Like, that's kind of weird, but okay. I mean, okay, sure. I thought Tyrion was going to die for a minute, but I knew Bran was going to be on the throne thanks to the Vegas bets. See, that is what surprised the heck out of me, Chewbacca, because I had heard that Bran was the favorite to be on the throne, and I was like, what? What? There's zero chance of that happening. And I was wrong. Holy crap. And that's probably my biggest issue, is Bran being on the throne, because it just doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, he's a storyteller, but ultimately, should he be the one on the throne? No. I mean, I don't know. I get the point of like, you can't have any children or anything like that. And that's all fine and dandy, but it's like, to me, I kind of felt like it was just kind of a shoo-in. I don't know. I was okay that Jon didn't end up on the throne, and I knew he wasn't going to. It was kind of just, it seemed like the very safe bet, and I figured that wasn't the way they were going to go. I was thinking, Gendry maybe, but then I was thinking, I kind of started thinking Sansa cat I started thinking maybe they're going to have Sansa, but of course Sansa cares more about the North, and for good reason. Now, I thought it was hilarious when Cat Stark, I can't remember what his name is, that idiot stands up and he's like, I like pretty much trying to make his case to be king. And I was like, are you? And I literally was like, are you fetching kidding me? I would have been so pissed if he would have sat on the throne, because it's like, this guy's an idiot. He's a retard. Why is he on the throne? It doesn't, and that would have made sense to me, but I'm happy that, ultimately they didn't go that route. Again, I'm not very happy with the fact that they chose to do, Bran ultimately, but I don't know. I need some clarification on why, because it doesn't make sense to me. WTF did Bran even do? I mean, yeah, that's the thing. I guess Bran plotted this whole thing, it sounded like. The way that he was talking to Jon, and he's like, you were in the place that you needed to be. So really, Bran, and then he's like, why do you think I'm here? It's like, what? I don't know. It was kind of like one of those weird, it was weird for me. I didn't see it happening. Like, I'm not mad. I can't say like, oh, this whole show's gone to waste, or, what a terrible ending. Because it wasn't terrible, but it didn't give me a resolution that made sense. Not that I wanted, what I thought was going to happen, didn't happen. But to me, it didn't really make sense for the way that they, I guess, kind of finished it with having Bran sit on the throne. Dagger, you seem pretty mad. Jon Snow was chucked. I called it. I mean, Dagger, if you're really mad about the final season, I mean, the final episode, I understand. I get it. I get why you're mad, but it's like, you can't base the whole show based off of the finale. I mean, to me, I feel like there's so much good in this show that they did, that I think it's really hard for me to be like, this show sucks, blah, blah, blah. Like, because it doesn't. I mean, it's unfortunate. I wish that they wouldn't have gone with the route that they ended up going with having ultimately Bran sitting on the throne, because it made zero sense to me. And also, I agree though. Jon Snow was kind of like thrown out of the way. I feel like he didn't get the ending that he deserved, to be honest. He killed Daenerys, but he needed to. I mean, who else? Come on. You're going to let her sit on the throne and Grey Worm, like, I want justice. Who are you? Who are you, Grey Worm? You're nobody. Like, come on. Yeah, it's fine. I was glad to see him with Tormund, but I thought that the Walkers were going to come back in the end. Yeah, they were kind of like, I don't know if it was like foreshadowing or like symbolic, but there was something about it that just kind of gave that White Walker like eeriness to it, I guess. And kind of like it was kind of almost like a mirror image of like the White Walkers. And maybe it's just them trying to kind of go on their own. And maybe they're like, we don't really need to defend Casterly Black or Casterly Rock, because who are you going to defend it from at this point? I mean, not unless the White Walkers come back, which they're not going to. So, bro, Jon didn't die, come back to life, find out he is the heir to the throne, only get sent back to the Night's Watch. I mean, I figured he was going to go back north. I thought they were going to offer him the throne. And I feel like Bran, I don't know, man. I kind of feel like Bran was pulling a lot of strings that nobody saw coming, and he knew everything. Apparently, he can tell the future and all that stuff. I mean, I don't know. It's weird to me too, Dagger. Like I get your anger and I get your frustration. I get it, because I'm a little upset too. Like, Jon didn't deserve that, but he ends up, ultimately kind of getting the ending. I guess it makes sense. I'll say that it makes sense, but for him to pretty much just be like a nobody at this point now, it's kind of like, well, that's stupid. It's funny too, because it's like he kills Daenerys, who burnt down an entire city. Okay. And then not only that, actually, you know what? Let's think about this for a second, guys. Let's put this into perspective. Daenerys burns down the city. We never once saw a coronation of her being queen. So technically, she was not queen. Unless they had a coronation that they didn't show us. So he really wasn't a queen slayer in my eyes. And I feel like Bran had to do it because he was trying to make peace. And I don't know. I have no idea. I really need to kind of stew on this. I need to sit on this and just kind of like, I don't know, relax my thoughts. Give me a second. I think I have a friend texting me about the episode right now, so I want to see what he says. Never mind. I don't think he's watched it yet. Oh, shoot. Okay. I agree, MP Dagger. I mean, it's hard, man. I don't know, because I feel like, and I get your guys' point of view, like I really do. I just wish that they would have at least given him like an option or like an opportunity. I don't know. I mean, he did the right thing ultimately at the end. I guess sometimes the good, one thing about this show is like, even like the good people make mistakes, and like even our heroes, sometimes they get mistreated. Actually, a lot of the time they get mistreated. I mean, just look at Sansa. But so it's interesting, to say the least, that's kind of the way that's what they did with Jon Snow, because it seems so much that they were like foreshadowing he was going to be on the throne, and then it's kind of like, well, never mind. Actually, he's going to be nothing, and he's going to go back to the Night's Watch, be Lord Commander. Except for at this point now, though, he gets to be with people that really respect him. So yeah, I guess, and it's not like I'm saying we'll see, because it's over. There's nothing left to see. So yeah. It's crazy. Jon felt some kind of way about being a bastard. Gets a chance to be king. Jon says, I don't want it. Jon felt some kind of way about being a bastard. Gets a chance to be king. Jon says, well, I mean, that's Jon's character, though. I mean, Jon, I feel like even if they gave him the option to be king, he probably would have said no. But it's like, at least make him, don't strip away all of his titles and like everything like that, his lands. Like, he can never own land for what? Doing what everyone needed to do, and he did it. He made the right decision. I mean, killing Dany, what was gonna be worse? She was gonna go after Sansa. She was gonna kill Sansa, Arya, Bran, whoever got in her way. So to me, I feel like it's a little bit of a kind of a slap in the face, I don't know. Mr. Acosta, it was nice listening to your streams, but screw this season. HBO wanted 10 seasons, but D&D, the creators, rushed it so they can work on the next Star Wars. I don't believe that, Dagger, because I'm going to be honest with you. I don't believe that for a second, because when they announced the final 2 seasons of Game of Thrones, it was back in 2016, and they got their offer for Star Wars in 2018. So, you could say they were in negotiations probably since like mid 2017, but there's a huge difference there. I don't think for one bit that they were rushing it so they can work on Star Wars. I really don't. I don't subscribe to that theory. I mean, I understand if that's what you think, but I really don't think that is what it is. The one thing that I'll never forgive them for, though, is why make the last 2 seasons, 6 episodes and 7 episodes? Why take out 7 episodes? I don't understand that. I'll never get it. I mean, I'm sure, sure, they didn't want to like drag the story out, but it's like it's 7 episodes. Like some of that stuff, maybe, this episode should have just been like, if they did a complete season the way that they used to, they have Danny die last episode, and then this episode they figure out like who's going to sit on the throne, and maybe give more backstory to why Bran specifically, because I don't get it. I really don't understand that. But again, I mean, that's what you think, Dagger. I don't subscribe to that theory. Because they got offered Star Wars way later after they announced that the final 2 seasons were going to be, it was only going to be 2 more seasons. See, I disagree. I think this episode was one of the better episodes of season 8. There you go, Chewbacca. I mean, hey, I'm happy that you really liked it. I mean, I like the episode. I'm not saying I didn't like it. I just think it's my least favorite. Where am I? Okay. But yeah, I mean, I thought this season was fantastic. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This was one of my favorite seasons of this show. It's not my favorite, but it's up there. I mean, I loved this season. And even though I wasn't super like extremely like positive with my review of the final episode of this, I mean, I still enjoyed what they gave us, because what they gave us, I thought was decent. I mean, I don't like that Bran sits on the throne at the end. I mean, I like it because I didn't think that was going to happen, but it's like I felt like there was no real explanation to it, and like I don't know. I just FD&D. Guys, I mean, come on. Like, these guys, I mean, they've been doing this show for so long. And even if you don't like and you don't agree with certain things that they've done, I mean, that's fine. That's understandable. It did feel a little rushed. I'm not going to lie. Like, there are some parts of the episodes that kind of felt like, oh, wow, we go from point A to point B like really fast. But these guys have done a really good job. I mean, 73 episodes of television, like that is hard. That is hard for anybody, even to have a successful show. And like, this is the show that is like the most talked about show in the universe. So it's like, to me, these guys have done something so prestigious and so amazing that we're not going to really see this again. I don't think. And so to me, I mean, my hat's off to them. I mean, sure, they didn't give the ending that everyone wanted, or, a lot of people hated this season apparently, but it's like, these guys, I thought they did a fantastic job with kind of telling the rest of the story and trying to do their best and being good storytellers. So, I mean, but that's how you feel, Chewbacca. Like, I don't feel that way, but I mean, I can't say you're wrong, to be honest. I really can't, because I disagree with you, but I can't say you're wrong because it's opinion. Jon Snow didn't have to be a Targaryen. He could have been John Rockefeller and it wouldn't have made a difference. I mean, I get it. I mean, I understand that. Sure. The thing is everyone, I think, suspected he was going to be on the throne. In my predictions video, I said Gendry Baratheon was going to be on the throne. So I never thought that Jon being on the throne was going to happen. I just didn't expect them to end the show the way that they did. And the way that Jon kind of got the rough end of the stick. But sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And it's the Game of Thrones. And apparently Bran was playing this entire time, and we didn't even know it. They're going to ruin Star Wars even more than it already has been. It's way too early, Chewbacca, to even speculate that. I mean, to me, this is so much different from Star Wars, to be honest. I mean, it's hard to base a show that's gone on 73 episodes of writing, of shooting, of, storytelling. I mean, that is in itself so hard to do. And take for account, like, at least every episode is an hour. I mean, some are an hour and a half, whatever. But like, let's take into account an hour, okay? Let's say, roughly there's about probably like 90, almost 100 hours of television that these guys have had to write, as opposed to a 2.5 hour movie. I think they can do it. I really think they can do it. I mean, let's wait until this project gets on the ground running. I mean, before we kind of start speculating those types of things. Yeah, I don't know yet, but I don't think they're going to ruin Star Wars. I have faith in these guys. I think they've done a really good job with the Game of Thrones. Although, let's just take this last season out of it. They've done a fantastic job. Something that I couldn't do, something that you couldn't do. Like, I mean, what they have done is just incredibly astounding. And so, I mean, let's give them a little bit of respect. You know what I mean? Like, these guys have worked really hard. And, they told the story that they wanted to tell, and it wasn't what we wanted necessarily. Like, I've liked this season. I'm not saying it's not something that I wanted. I don't feel like it was explained or justified. But, a lot of people were upset with it. It didn't give you what you wanted. I'm sorry about that. But, I mean, that's film and television. The thing is it's like, what would be the fun of going into something to watch it and then to just guess everything that's going to happen and to know what's going to happen, and then it happens. To me, I like a little bit of surprise, and I was really surprised by a lot of these things in this episode. So, like, that's all I'll say about that. I'm 100% certain that Bran manipulated everyone. Yeah, he did. I guess so. When he told Jon, "You were right where I needed you, smug bastard. 8 seasons for a cripple to become king over the dude who suffered the most." I mean, I'm not mad at the fact that he's king because he's a cripple. I'm really not. I think what I'm upset about is I just didn't feel, Dagger, that there was justification in the fact that he became king. And they didn't really explain a lot about kind of what he was doing and how he knew certain things. I think Bran played the game, and I think Bran is a solid king, to be honest. I mean, he's a good person. He makes good decisions. It's just interesting because he didn't want to be Lord of Winterfell, and I guess maybe because he knew the long game, and that's something we have to keep in account. Jon not being king has made me salty as hell. I mean, come on, man. Dude, I think you guessed that he wasn't going to be king, I thought. I mean, him not being king, I mean, that is the most obvious choice, and that's why I'm kind of happy that they didn't go that route. Like, I would have been happy if Jon was on the throne. I love Jon, but to me, it's so obvious, though. Like, it's one of those endings where it's like, wow, oh yeah, I saw that coming a mile away. And there's no fun to that. I love being surprised, and I felt like this gave me that surprise factor that I didn't think was going to happen. I really didn't think that they were going to go the route that they did, and they did. And Vegas was right. I don't know how, but they were right. Grey Worm was a freak. I didn't like the direction they went with him. I didn't like Grey Worm. I was hoping that he was going to die. I just felt that he was kind of, I don't know. He's different. He's changed. And I think it's hard though. It's hard to kind of, it's hard to have justice in hating Grey Worm or not liking Grey Worm. And the reason why is because, I mean, his influence, his example was Dany. And she became the Mad Queen ultimately. And, she burnt down a city. And, your closest general, your closest warrior who already lost the love of his life, the one person that he loved more than anything else, he has nothing left to lose. And so I understand that there's certain things that I understand about why they went that direction with the character. It does make sense to me, but it's like, at the same time, I just don't understand how he's like, Daenerys was my queen. He killed my queen. And then it's like, oh yeah, you want to choose a new king, queen? Yeah, you go right ahead. That's fine with me. It's like, what? I mean, that to me was a little weird and a little off. But again, I have to watch this episode again and kind of just marinate in it. Now that I know what happens, I need to kind of marinate in it. Maybe I can look for more clues into how things came to be. I'm just really happy Tyrion, my favorite character, got his justice. He's the hand of the king. And I couldn't be any happier about that. So that makes me happy. And they killed Danny, which was awesome. They robbed us of a Grey Worm versus John. I thought they were going to go that route, Dagger. I really did. And I wanted them to do that, but I'm actually kind of happy that they didn't, because to me, it's like Grey Worm versus John. It would have been really cool. I thought there was going to be a fight as well, but then I kind of started thinking about it more and more after, watching the episode. I'm like, it wouldn't have made sense because they've never really had a lot of screen time together. They've never interacted. There is no like real tension there. And so I would much rather see, John kill Danny the way that he did, because there is tension there. And, I was just very surprised by the fact that Drogon also burnt down and melted away the Iron Throne. And then he just left. Like, that's it. He's like, I'm out of here. Peace. That was a little weird to me, but I thought it was visually cool. I kind of had a feeling that they were going to just completely destroy the Iron Throne. And I didn't know how they were going to do that. I mean, it makes sense that it's Drogon, but this whole show has been based off of that throne. So it's kind of like, in a way, I didn't think they were going to go that route, but I had a feeling they were going to do something kind of like that. So stupid. I wanted Danny to die, but killing her off in 15 minutes was stupid. I disagree, actually. I was very surprised by it, number one. I disagree at the fact that it was stupid, because the thing is thinking about it, if they would have done it, let's say 40 minutes into the episode. The episode was about 75 minutes long, because there's like 8 minutes of freaking commercials in the beginning and in the end, which they didn't even have it inside the episode on this one, which I was so bummed about, man. Hopefully they'll have that in the documentary, because I love those inside the episodes. I really do, because they explain certain things, and that's why I'm so mad about Bran being king at the end, because I'm like, where's my inside the episode so they can tell me why he's the king? They didn't have it this time. But anyway, to me, it would have been a lot harder. It would have felt more rushed had they killed Danny off later on in the episode. And then you have all of this story that you have to continue to develop and establish. So that way we can kind of see these through lines ended. And there wouldn't have been a lot of time for that, to be honest. So to me, killing her off in like the first 15 minutes, it was like 15, 20 minutes. I thought it worked perfectly, because I felt like the pacing was fine to do that. If they would have waited to do that, let's say 40, 45 minutes, then they have to rush everything. And then there would be really no explanation to anything. There is not a lot of explanation to the whole Bran thing, but there's a lot of explanation to be had with like Sansa being queen, whether it be, Grey Worm kind of leaving with the Unsullied and he gets his own place and he goes to Noth. So things like that made sense. But if we would have had 25 minutes if they would have had 25 minutes to tell that, then we wouldn't have any of those through lines ended. It would have just been like kind of more open-ended, I guess. We wouldn't see Grey Worm. We wouldn't have seen Tormund. We wouldn't have seen certain elements. And so I'm happy that we got to finally see that one last time, all of our characters that we loved. I also really liked in this episode something very small. I loved Bran of Tarth, Sir Bran of Tarth, going and filling in the rest of Jaime's story. I thought that was really nice. It was a really nice touch. And I felt like the one person to do that was Bran. To say that he died defending his queen, I mean, that was really touching. That was a moving moment. And Peter Dinklage, man, what an actor. Oh my gosh. Those first 5 minutes when he's there with Jaime and Cersei and their dead bodies, and he's just crying. Oh man, how powerful that was. Like, in that moment, I just felt so bad for him, because he knew that he was the only Lannister left. There is nobody else. And I'm sure he went on to multiply and have children and things like that. But I mean, to me, it was crazy. Peter Dinklage is such an amazing actor, and I think he has a very good chance of winning another Emmy. And then what else? Sir Podrick. Podrick gets knighted. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. I loved seeing that. I thought that was a really cool resolution. I love Podrick's character. Bronn is a lord, which, I mean, come on. I kind of like that. That's kind of cool. You have him, you have, Samuel Tarly as being Meister. I thought there would maybe be like resolution with him and John, but I mean, ultimately they didn't have a lot of time, so whatever, that's fine. You got to cut some corners, but yeah, I gotta say there was little moments in this episode that I really enjoyed. John was the biggest loser. Bronn and Gendry are the biggest winner. I mean, Gendry is the biggest winner. I mean, Gendry, he was named Lord when Dany was queen, technically. And he's a Baratheon. He's a Baratheon. I mean, to me, it just makes sense that he would be a Lord. I mean, he's a Baratheon, for crying out loud. Now, I thought maybe him and Arya would get married or something, but I guess it didn't go that route. Just a one night thing, and there it is. I was also kind of worried. I was like, wait a second. Sansa was like walking, and I was like, okay, they're gonna make her queen and stuff. But I was thinking maybe she's getting married because it kind of looked like she was like wearing like a gown or something. I'm like, who's she gonna marry? And then she just sits on her own throne in the north, and I like that. I thought that was pretty nice. And it kind of reminded me a lot of like Cersei when her coronation when she became like queen. So that's interesting. I mean, I thought it was kind of nice, a nice moment for Sansa. But to me, Bronn is a big winner. But at the same time, like Tyrion promised him that he was going to be the Lord of. I'm trying to think, was it Riverrun or I can't remember, one of those houses. He was going to be the Lord of it. So I mean, it made sense to me that he would. Tyrion would keep on that promise, especially being the hand of the king. Like he'd be like, yeah, I made this promise. Like I got to keep it, I mean, I don't see, I see John being a big loser. I understand that, but Bronn and Gendry, I mean, as biggest winners, like this has already been established before. That's not a problem that I have. Like I wanted Gendry to sit on the Iron Throne, man. I agree. I think they could have killed her a little later on. Really. I mean, I thought it worked fine. For me, I thought it was great the way that they had paced it. And I like the fact that she died early because I thought they were going to kill her later on too, but I like that they didn't and they killed her in the first 15 minutes because they had to move forward. We had to jump in time. There had to be that leap in time where things could be resolved and we can kind of see the aftermath of what happened. So I liked it. I'm okay with them killing her early. I loved it. And why wouldn't John just say she flew away with Drogon? There was no proof or evidence. What happened to our queen? I don't know. Oh, you're king. Done. See, here's the problem with that Blind Archer. Here's the problem with that. Jon Snow has always been about honesty. He's always been honest and loyal. He killed the queen. Sure, he killed her. But he's always been an honest person. And for him to just say, oh, I don't know where she went. She flew off with Drogon. I mean, there was blood on the ground. If you notice, there was blood on the ground. He was devastated by what he did, and he's going to tell the truth. I mean, what does he have left to hide? They know that she wouldn't just kind of like up and leave at that situation, especially because she had just gotten to King's Landing. So it would have been really hard to convince them that she kind of just up and left. But I mean, that's what you think, Archer. I mean, hey, I disagree with that logic. It just, to me, I felt like John has always been that character. They've always made him that character who's been loyal and honest and true. And, he lives up to that Stark name by doing so. And he followed through on this one at the end of it all. Seeing Samwell as Grand Maester was tear jerking for me. I don't know. It was good seeing him get to where he wanted to be. Yeah, I liked it a lot. I didn't think he was going to be Maester. I really didn't think that was going to happen. I'm happy that they went that route. Yeah, I thought it was really nice too. And this little Song of Ice and Fire thing, I thought that was really nice. There's 3 moments apparently to Wise and Benioff that was like WTF moments. And one of those moments was Hodor with the hold the door. Another one of those moments was, oh my gosh, why am I spacing out on it? Put it down in the comments section. You guys know better than I do. I'm trying to think of what the second moment was. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's like in my brain, but I for some reason just cannot process it to say it. And I wonder what that third one was. I really do. Maybe it was John killing Dany. Maybe it was Braun was playing the game the entire time. I mean, it could be a number of things. So I'm looking forward to that documentary next week to kind of hopefully get some clarification. I didn't understand why Brand couldn't have children. He can't walk. Did the fall sterilize him? Well, I think they explained this, Laundry. So he's paralyzed. Now, I imagine what happened and why he can't have children is because he can't produce semen. I don't know. They did, but they have explained it before. Not explained it, but they have said it before that he can't have children. Because he tells Sansa why he doesn't want to be Lord. He says, I can't father children. So I don't know why I should be Lord because I can't keep our, family lineage going. And so that's something that is briefly said, but I mean, if you look back and you watch that specific moment in time, he tells Sansa that. And so, yeah, he can't have children probably just because, the fall, wrecks something down there and he just can't produce semen. I mean, that's my best guess. I have no idea, but he has said it in the past to Sansa. All the prophecies went to waste. Azor Ahai, prince who was promised, and where the bleep was the red god at? To me, and Dagger, I've said this, ad nauseum over the past couple of weeks. To me, this show has always been more than prophecies. It's always been about, the real problem with the real thing about the show has been the throne. It's always been about war. It's been about, how do you get to the top? And to me, the show has always been more than prophecy. So to me, it doesn't bother me. I don't understand the logistics of the prophecies anyway. And the thing is, there are prophecies in this show that are subtle, but I feel like a lot of people are getting mad because there's prophecies in the books. We got to separate this from the books. This is not the books. This is different. This is a different form of media. This is a different form of entertainment. Books are in their own separate world, in their own separate universe. This is in its own separate universe as well. So like you got to kind of get over the whole, if it's in the books, it's in the show. That's not the way it works. That's not the way entertainment works. I mean, movies are the same exact way. We got to separate those art forms. It's different. I mean, when it gets translated onto the screen, it's different. It's different. I know, right? I was like, how do they know he can't have kids? Well, again, Chewbacca, he said it to Sansa before. He has said it to Sansa, and and I think I can't remember. I think Bran is the one that says, "Yeah, I can't have children." So it's like, that's the thing. Or Sansa might have even said it, but I know he said it to Sansa before when she offered him to be the Lord because he came back, and he's like, "No, I can't have children." And go back and watch it. So stupid. I'm so angry. Season 1 through 7 are written masterpieces. Season 8 was so rushed and tainted. The amazingness of this show. Dagger, my friend, my buddy. I love you. You've been awesome in this chat. You're amazing. And you've given us a lot of it, like insight. But you cannot say the whole show went to waste based on one episode. I know it's the series finale. I know you wanted certain resolves that didn't happen. You cannot get mad because those things didn't happen. I mean, at the end of the day, the show ended the way that it was supposed to. And I feel like Wise and Benioff, they have had this planned for years. There's no way that they went into this thinking, you know what, we're just, we have 2 weeks until we gotta get this finished. Yeah, who's gonna say Bran? We'll just put him there. Jon, yeah, he's nobody to us now. We hate him now. There's no way that they did that. There's no way, and there's no way HBO would pay for them to do that. So I'm sorry you were upset with this episode. I wasn't a huge fan of this episode. I liked it. I certainly didn't love it. I have to go back and watch it again, and maybe I'll love it a little bit more. But my friend, dude, this show has been amazing. It's been great. And I know you have liked the other episodes, man. I know you have. And I mean, come on, it's over. It's done. It is what it is. We can't change it. You can sign the petition to remake it, but that's never going to happen because HBO is not going to waste their time. And so it's just like we got to get over that, you know? I mean, you can't base your entire you can't base the fact that this whole show has gone to nothing and it's a waste because of just the season finale. I mean, it's just, hey, you know what? This is better than to say it was all a dream in someone's head, or to have it like be some type of attraction in Westworld. Oh my gosh, would that have pissed off everyone? So at least it didn't go that route. That's all I'll say. They rushed this season overall. We needed a full season at very least. I agree. I wish that I agree with you on the fact, Chewbacca, that we needed a full season. I completely agree. We needed a full season for sure. And to me, it baffles me the fact that they literally we're going to cut 7 episodes from the last 2 seasons. It's like, what? Why? I get you don't want to like drag it out, but it's 7 episodes that could be useful to explaining certain elements that are going to happen. So yeah, I don't get it. I'll never get that. I think, I don't know. It would have been better if Jon died when he killed Danny. I mean, I thought maybe they were going to go that route. I really thought so. I was like, well, Drogon could try to set him on fire, but I don't think he can die from fire. I was thinking also maybe Grey Worm will come in and he'll kill Jon because Jon was in such a distraught, mood. But they didn't do that. And I didn't know what happened to him afterwards. I thought maybe Tyrion was going to come out, Jon was going to sit on the throne, and yeah, that's the way things were. But I guess that didn't happen. When Grey Worm says he's our prisoner, I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. But yeah, I feel like I thought they were going to kill Jon. After he killed Danny, like I thought there was going to be some resolution to that in the fact that Jon would die, but I'm happy that he didn't, to be honest. This was a goofy ending. It was wrapped up in a neat bow, not what the show set up from the previous seasons. This was too easy. I agree with part of your statement. Again, the whole Bran thing being king didn't make any sense to me. I mean, at least it's not that idiot who stood up, the Cat Stark guy, freaking idiot. I hated that guy so much. He's such a wuss too. So I was like, thank goodness it wasn't him. Because if they would have gone that route, I'd be pissed. I'd be really pissed. But Bran apparently was playing the game. I want them to explain how he was playing the game and maybe some hints back to previous seasons, because this has to tie up into previous seasons. It has to. And there's some things that do. But it's like, yeah, I don't know. There's certain decisions where I'm just kind of like, that's interesting. That's interesting. I literally called this ending in a comment in your latest video. They're making 5 prequels/sequels. Jon is the last Targaryen in the world. Hopefully him going beyond the wall to live with the free folk sets up a sequel. Okay, good night. I don't want to... oh shoot. Oh gosh. Oh, sorry. That, oh wow. I totally lost where I was. I don't want to burn out in anger. Dagger, I understand, man. I'm sorry you're angry, man. I've really liked this season. I wasn't a big fan of this episode. I wasn't the hugest fan, but I understand. I understand that you're mad. I understand you're frustrated. You have the right to be. Just don't burn down a city. Okay. That's all I ask. Do not burn down a city. And I'll have to go back and check your comment, man. I don't remember. I do this like every week. And so it's like, I have no idea. Like I don't remember certain things that people say. I'm just a very forgetful person. That's why I think they rushed it. Having 7 episodes and then 6 is ridiculous in my opinion. That's why I think it's rushed. I mean, I feel like the pacing to certain parts of these episodes this season has been good. In other parts, it's been very rushed. And I agree. I wish that they would have. It baffles me, and it will continue to baffle me. And it's not about money. It's not in terms of money. I don't know why they did that. I have no idea. To be honest, Jon became Azor Ahai in a way. He drove his dagger in the heart of the one he loved most and forged Lightbringer equals Dragon's Fire Rage, and with it destroyed the throne and destroyed the wheel. I mean, yeah, quite possibly. See, again, I don't really know the logistics of the prophecies because I've never really paid that much attention to it. I don't read the books. A lot of you guys are die harder fans than I am. I love this show though. I love television. And I've really enjoyed what we've gotten. And, it's at the end of the day, it wasn't the ending that I thought was going to happen. I can't say it was the most satisfying ending, but I'm happy with it nonetheless. I mean, it did something that I didn't think it was going to do, which was surprise the heck out of me, and have Bran sit on the throne. Who would have known? Okay, that's all. Good night, everyone. Sad that the greatest show on earth has ended. Yeah, it's really sad, Dagger. That's one thing, guys. Guys, let's put that in mind. Like, let's put it in perspective. Like, I am sad that it's over. It's over. There is no more Game of Thrones. I mean, yeah, there's going to be prequel and sequel series, but it's not going to be the same. It's never going to be the same anymore. One thing that I've said that I wanted, I'm going. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to like switch up kind of like my where I am because this is so uncomfortable. Okay. Oh, all right. There we go. Directly like in the light. Yeah, to me, I'm figuring out what I need to watch now. I have no idea. I could try Westworld again. I could try episode 2 of Westworld. I see that show's weird to me. I have no idea what's happening. I don't know how things make sense. I can't really make sense of things, but to me, I feel like I'm just sad that something so good and something that, has been so beloved and has been so interesting and amazing is ended. None of the prequels and sequel series are gonna be the same. I want them to do a sequel series where they go into the future like a couple thousand years and people are still fighting for, the throne. Maybe things are broken up, but I don't know if they're going to go that route. We'll see. They're doing the First Children prequel with Naomi Watts. I'm looking forward to that and seeing what that's going to be about. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, the greatest show on earth has ended, guys. It's sad. Okay. Whoa. Who should be king, lad? Sansa Aegon Targaryen came back from the dead, kicked death's a natural leader, heir to Iron Throne, Tyrion. No, I like Brandon. Yeah, it's interesting because it's like that's another thing that kind of blows my mind. That I didn't even say this, and I love Tyrion, but I don't get why they let Tyrion make the ultimate decision. That was interesting. He's supposed to be a prisoner, right? He's not supposed to talk at all. So that was weird. Yeah, that was weird to me. One thing I did like at the end, though, I forgot to say this as well. I like that they show all the last Starks and kind of what they're doing. It shows Sansa, Arya, and Jon, which are really the three main characters of the show, and it shows them what happened, where they're going, and what's next for them. Time is passing, and everything like that. So, and it was really nice, the way that they did that. But yeah, the fact that they let Tyrion kind of make the decision was kind of like, what? But again, I don't. It is what it is. Gonna miss you, Dagger. Your opinions are always great, dude. Not the ending I wanted, but the ending that happened. I'll miss you too, Chewbacca. Yeah, I'll miss you guys too. I still have more content. I'm gonna be posting up a lot more content. Next week I'll do the Game of Thrones documentary. I'll probably do a little review on that. We'll talk maybe for a little bit, maybe talk about this season and maybe what we expect for the new series that's coming up, the prequel series. And if you guys are interested in that, let me know below. If not, then I won't waste my breath. But yeah, I'll miss doing this every week for sure. It's sad. It's really sad. HBO doing something on Star Wars. I don't think so. I don't know. They're doing a documentary of the making of this season of Game of Thrones. So if that's what you're asking, Karen, that's what I've been talking about and referring to. At the end of everything, I think this episode did tie up enough loose ends. Seeing the last scene with the Starks was beautiful in a way. I agree. I also love the King's Council with everyone at the table. I agree. And Brienne adding to Jaime's page in the book was beautiful too. I agree. I am not saying I hate D&D, and I'm sorry for what I said earlier, but I just wish there was like one more episode, haha. But in the end, they did a great job overall. And again, Chewbacca, like I wasn't, and I know you weren't saying that you hate them and things like that. There are people that do, and I don't conspire. I don't think you should hate anybody for working on something. And if it didn't work for you, it didn't work for you. But no, you don't need to apologize, Chewbacca. You're fine. You're doing fine. We're having a good chat. This is what fans do. Fans are fans. Fans have differing opinions, and one thing I don't want from my videos and like from my streams is I don't want you guys thinking that my opinion is the only one that matters, and I don't want you guys thinking that like you have to be robots and like you can't speak your mind. I want you to speak your mind. I encourage you to speak your mind, and you're just passionate fans, and that's fine. I love that you're passionate about this show and you're passionate about entertainment in general. So one thing I don't expect is I don't expect you guys to conform to what I want, because that's not fun. I love that we can have these chats and we can do it in a civil manner, and we have fun with it. Dagger, the same thing for you, man. I've really enjoyed everything that we've talked about these past few weeks. You're an awesome friend, and we have differing opinions, and that's fine. That's fine. I mean, to me, that's all I could ask for. And you guys have been amazing. So I really appreciate it. It's been great. They said Bran knows the history and won't make the same mistakes as the predecessors. I mean, yeah, we won't see. I don't know why I keep trying to say that. We'll never know. I'm sure that it was good though. Bran, like I said, I think Bran is an excellent choice, but it's just, I want explanation for why he was chosen, if that makes sense. I'm saying like he's a good choice, but I want to know like why they chose him ultimately, why they let Tyrion make the final decision. Okay, John lost. The scumbag Bronn gets Highgarden. Yeah, I understand that. I get that. I get that frustration, Laundry. I get it. But again, Bronn was promised Highgarden, and I mean, I don't know. It's tough. It's not about getting what you wanted. I watched it with no expectations. It's about getting something that you can understand whether you agree with it or not. And no one understands the end. I mean, yeah, I don't understand certain things about the end, Archer. It's not about getting what you wanted. Exactly. I watched it with no expectations. It's about getting something that you can understand whether you agree with. And I agree with that. I agree with your statement. That's a very good statement. Very good point, Archer. And yeah, thank you for that. I think as long as they evoke some kind of emotion out of you, then they did their job. Yeah, I think, here's the thing. That saying, all publicity, no matter what, is good publicity. I stand by that with entertainment. Even the worst movie, let's say The Room, okay? For any of you guys who've seen The Room, Tommy Wiseau's The Room is like heralded as the worst, the best worst movie of all time. That movie's horrible, but it's entertaining. But you know what? That movie gets more talked about than movies like that came out just a couple of years ago. And the thing is, I'm going to say the same thing about season 8. A lot of people have been mad about it. A lot of people have hated it. But you know what? People continue to watch it, and people are talking about it. And there's nothing more powerful than people talking about something, whether it be something good or something bad, whether it be a negative comment or a positive comment. It's the same. So this whole ideation of the fact that the community itself is at large upset or at large revolting, it's like, well, they're still watching the show. If people really didn't care, like a lot of people I've seen on social media, they're like, this is so stupid, I'm done, like it's dumb, I'm not watching it anymore, it's a waste of time, blah blah blah, waste of a show. But those people, what do? Every Sunday, they go and watch the latest episode of Game of Thrones. Why? Because they're still interested. So to me, this is an example of good. Any publicity is good publicity at this point. How did Bronn become Master of Coin? Well, I mean, I guess that's his title. That's what he got. Which is kind of interesting because the time when Tyrion was Master of Coin, Bronn was kind of like his guard. So it's kind of interesting. It's an interesting concept. Of all the people to choose to be Master of Coin, I think he'd be like last on my list, but I guess they saw something in him. Maybe they wanted to challenge him a little bit. I've kind of always felt like Master of Coin was a position that people hated. Like they wanted to have a watchful eye on people. Like Tyrion was Master of Coin, and so yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's kind of what it all comes down to. I honestly don't know how that even happened. LOL. Yeah, I don't know. Let's get an explanation of that. Davis made sense as Davos made sense as ships. Sam Maester, but Bronn. I mean, I guess everyone's hating on the fact that Bronn was Master of Coin. And hey, it made sense to me that he's a lord, but Master of Coin, yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. Yo, what up? A little late, my bad. Crazy end. Yeah, Quaze. We've been talking about it, and hey, you're never late, man. Thanks for stopping in and contributing on the chat. It really means a lot. Meta D&D, you sold us out. GOT faithful, you money grubbing, uninspired George Lucas suck-ups. 6 episodes. Why is John back freezing his A off at the wall? You pieces of crap. Well, Kieran, you're passionate. I like your passion. But money grubbing, I don't agree with that. They get paid probably the same that they get paid any season. Let's see. Uninspired George Lucas suck-ups. I mean, George Lucas suck-ups. I don't get why you're saying they're George Lucas suck-ups. George Lucas did not give them the job to direct Star Wars. George Lucas has nothing to do with Lucasfilm anymore. He hasn't had anything to do with Lucasfilm for years. Ever since he sold, Lucasfilm to Disney. The one who's in charge of Lucasfilm is Kathleen Kennedy. So if you want to get mad at Kathleen Kennedy, you go right ahead. I'm not a big fan of Kathleen Kennedy and what she's done with the Star Wars universe. But George Lucas, saying that they're George Lucas suck-ups, I don't think so. And I think we're giving them a lot of crap. Here's the thing. Game of Thrones and Star Wars are two completely different concepts. They're two completely different concepts. And another thing is Game of Thrones has source material. Star Wars doesn't. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do in the Star Wars universe. I think they could do something amazing. So, and why is John back freezing his A off at the wall? Well, I guessed that he was going to be, north of the wall. I thought it was going to be a choice, so I didn't think he was going to have to go there as a sentence. But yeah, I mean, Kieran, if you ever get that opportunity, the thing is, what they'll probably do is they'll probably just laugh and be like, well, I mean, it's not for everyone. I mean, the thing is, we're thinking the small-minded concept of, everyone hates it. Not everyone hates it. There are a lot of people who are loving this season, me included, or love this season, and me included. I love this season. I loved what they did. Ultimately, the final episode, I wasn't super pleased about it, but I mean, it is what it is. Drogon was the best part of that episode. I thought Drogon was pretty cool. Again, I think my favorite part of the entire episode was Dany dying. I really do. That's the best part of the episode because I wanted her to die so bad, and I was so happy. I liked when Drogon was hiding in the snow. Yeah, I like that too. We didn't even mention that. We didn't even mention that, Becca. Thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, that was cool. I like that they did that. I didn't know that was Drogon, actually. I didn't think that Drogon was hiding in the snow or he was buried in the snow, but thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, I like that a lot. Prithvi Tana. They're going to make a new season. I'm playing John since I'm usually the biggest loser. Oh, my gosh, that's funny. Part of me was hoping that it was going to be psych, but I knew they weren't going to do that. No, I mean, yeah, John is a big loser. I agree with that. He lost a lot, but he also gained a lot too because he killed Daenerys. He did the thing that he knew was right, even though it cost him. And at the end of the day, it looked like he was Lord Commander of the Night's Watch. So, I mean, he's kind of back to where he kind of was. Now, having no titles and stuff, they kind of treated him like a bastard. But, I mean, I don't know. I didn't like the fact that they gave him what they gave him just because I felt like he did the one thing that everyone wanted him to do, including Bronn, including Sansa. And apparently Bronn was manipulating everyone at the end, I guess. So, yeah. And good luck playing Jon Snow. Just wondering, random question. If you had to be a character from the show, who'd you want to be and why? That's a great question, Chewbacca. Haven't gotten a question like that. Who would I want to be and why? There's two people I'd want to be. Number one, easy answer, Jon Snow. Even though he gets the crap end of the stick at the end, he has a lot of respect. I mean, who doesn't love Jon Snow? He's like everyone's favorite character. So, yeah, I mean, it would be nice to be Jon Snow. I wouldn't lie. And number two, that's a hard question. Number two, there's a couple that come to mind, but I'd probably want to be Gendry Baratheon. And the reason why is because Gendry ended up becoming a lord at the end. He had a very redeeming ending. And, he went through a lot of crap, dealt with a lot of stuff, but, I wouldn't mind being Gendry, to be honest. I think Gendry, and he's also a smith. He's a smith, so he knows how to make weapons and forge weapons and things like that. Like, that's cool. I'd love to do that. So, probably Gendry and Jon Snow would be my two answers. Tyrion would be nice, but I'm not that smart, so I couldn't be Tyrion. Sir Arthur Dayne. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a name that was in the book, right, Kieran? Bran totally saw this coming. All hail King Cripple. Yeah, apparently he did. Apparently, I only thought he could see in the past, but apparently he can see in the future, and apparently he can manipulate the game in his favor. He played the Game of Thrones better than anybody else, I guess, from the beginning. So, yeah, hail Bran. He did something that none of us thought was going to happen. I mean, Vegas. How the heck did Vegas get it right? I have no idea. Single and ready to mingle. What is Jon going to defend at the wall? LMAO. I'm wondering the same thing. I mean, there's not really much to defend now, is there? I mean, I guess if there's like another resurgence of White Walkers, but I don't think there is. I mean, I guess if there's a couple wildlings out there who are like straddlers who are kind of against everyone in society and they want to come in and try to cause havoc. But I think it's more for like protection purposes, even though I don't know what they need to protect against. So, yeah, I'm with you right there, Prithvi. I have no idea. I don't know. Give me a second. I'm going to go get a drink real quick. I'm probably going to close up my thoughts. I'm going to go get a drink, and I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. Oh, and LMAO, right. Yeah, I agree. Okay. All right, guys. Well, it looks like this stream is going to be over. The last episode, we have the shortest stream, which makes sense. I mean, it's the conclusion. There is no predictions or kind of like where do we go next. Overall, I enjoyed the series as a whole. I love this show. I'm really sad to see it go. It's probably my favorite show on television. I don't know what I'm going to watch now. Maybe some Vikings, maybe try round 2 with Westworld, watch the second episode and see if I like it more. And I don't know where HBO goes from here. I mean, they have a couple shows coming out, Euphoria. They got that new James McAvoy show, which kind of looks pretty interesting. So we'll just have to wait and see, what they end up doing at that moment. And yeah, guys, so all I want to say is thank you guys so much. These past 6 weeks have been incredible. I've gotten to talk to some amazing people. You guys are awesome. I consider us all friends. And thank you so much for just being a part of the chat and communicating and kind of helping me kind of, change topics so easily. It's been so easy doing this because it's nice. We have a nice pace and a nice flow. But anyway, guys, subscribe to my channel. I emphasize that a lot because there are a lot of things I want to do in the future. Even though Game of Thrones has ended, I do plan on doing some more TV stuff in the future. Definitely the prequel series in the next couple of years, whenever that comes out, I'll definitely continue and come back and do live streams again. I also plan on doing Stranger Things season 3 reviews. So I might review every episode of the season. I haven't made up my mind. I might even do a live stream review, so you guys can talk to me on here live, and we can talk about the season as a whole. And so there is that. I do film reviews this upcoming week. I have a ton coming. I have Aladdin. I also have Brightburn, and I'm also planning on hoping to go see Booksmart, which I'm really looking forward to. I think that's the one that I'm looking forward to most. And I'll have my reviews up and everything like that during the course of the weekend. And I have a lot more stuff planning. I know I've talked to Ignazium about doing the Stan Lee cameo ranking. I'm still going to do that. I promise. I have been so busy with school. Every time I've gone to try to shoot it, I've always been busy with something. So I will put that up. I'm not going to make any more guarantees of when I'm going to put it up just because I don't want to let you guys down, but I will be putting it up as well. I will be very shortly doing a complete review series on the Quentin Tarantino films leading up to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you subscribe to that for that reason. And I'll also be doing a ranking video after I see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and everything else. I plan on doing a Blu-ray collection video relatively soon. Don't know when, but still kind of figuring things out for that. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Like this stream. Go back and watch it. Go back and watch this season. Give it another chance and have some fresh eyes when you go and check it out. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. It means the world to me that you guys have been on here and you guys have participated, and we've just had a fantastic time. Prithvi should have just clicked Danny. Should have just dig Danny down. I mean, yeah. I mean, maybe, one last time. Why not? I was happy that he didn't want Danny at the end romantically, and I'm happy that he was the one that killed her, because if it would have been Arya, I would have been a little upset about that, because I feel like she wouldn't have deserved it, and she really didn't have that much screen time with Daenerys. And so I was happy that it was Jon Snow ultimately who ended up killing Danny. I thought that was really nice, and I mean, he got his moment in the sun with her. For sure. You got some romance with her. But anyway, yeah, subscribe to my channel. Subscribe right now. If you're not subscribed to this channel, you guys are missing out on a lot of opportunities, a lot of good things coming. I have a logo. Yes, I finally have a logo. I finished it, and it looks awesome. So, it's the same comment. I'm sorry, Prithvi. But yeah, subscribe to my channel. Like, seriously, it would mean the world for me. Even though Game of Thrones is over, I'm going to be doing a lot more content. Like I said, I have 3 reviews coming out this week of, Aladdin, Brightburn, Booksmart, all that stuff. And then, continuing on into the whole year with movies. I mostly do movies, but I will be doing some TV as well. If I get into Westworld, we'll see. There's a possibility there where I could do live streams in the future of Westworld and all that stuff. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Love all the support. And as always, I will see you guys in my next video. Goodbye.